Hey guys, what's up today? I needed an axe for some of the bigger pieces of elm wood. There's dead elm trees that are dying off, and I cut a couple down with my chainsaw, and we'll probably use some of that for firewood. And I wanted to split some of the bigger pieces. So I found this axe head in the shop, and it had a busted handle. It was a wooden handle, and it's an older axe. It's rusty. So I put it on the wire wheel on the bench grinder, and I removed most of the iron oxide, the rust, on the surface. But you can tell that it's old steel. And old steel is some of the best steel. The steel, I could go and buy an axe at the hardware store for like anywhere between 15 to 35 bucks for, just a quick grab an axe. Some of them have fiberglass handles now and rubber grips, and the rubber grips don't last long, and yeah. A lot of the steel heads are made in China now, and they're like stuff you buy at the hardware stores. Unless you get some real quality piece, you're going to pay good money for a real quality. Like a Cavalier compared to a Cadillac, you're going to pay good money for quality nowadays. It used to be, people used to take pride in quality and selling quality, but now things are a little bit different nowadays, and a lot of the stuff you find is cheaply made for maximum profits. And it's sad, but that's the way the world works nowadays. So I wanted to get an axe handle to fix this. Now this is an older axe head. It's got a little bit of weight, but it's not too big, and it doesn't take a huge handle. So first thing I did was I removed the iron oxide, the rust, with the wire wheel on the bench grinder, and then I put an edge on it because it was a little bit dull. It's pretty sharp now, and I did that on the bench grinder also. I removed the wood that was in here with a hammer and punch. There was wood swelled in there, and the handle was sticking out, but it was broken. So I punched that out. I've heard people say that you can burn that out, but when you put the heat to the steel, you're going to lose. If this is forged or tempered, you're going to distemper the steel. And it's not going to hold an edge quite the same. If you get this too hot, and if you don't quench it or if you don't cool it properly, you're going to distemper the metal. So don't try to burn out that wood in there if you can help it. Unless you're able to and knowledgeable on how to forge that or temper it so it'll hold a nice sharp edge and not be brittle, I don't recommend trying to burn the wood out of there. So anyway, I knocked the wood out, I cleaned it up, I put an edge on it, and then I went to the hardware store to find a handle, and they didn't even have handles at the hardware store. They had, like I said, they had some axes that you can buy a complete axe with a fiberglass handle and rubber grips, and I have experience with axes, and I don't like the fiberglass handles or the rubber grips because they usually don't last long. I'm not saying the wood's going to last any longer or anything like that. Like, whatever works for you, works for you. So, but this is what I want to do. I might save a couple dollars, and I might be able to make a video and, and show you guys how to save $1 at the same time. But if you don't have the patience or the facilities or the tools or whatever, go ahead and buy one. Go ahead and buy an axe. I like doing it this way. So I couldn't get a handle at all at the hardware store. They didn't have any. They had like some made in China axes, which I didn't really want. And they were reasonably priced for an axe. But they sent me, when I requested a handle, they sent me to the local convenience store. And the convenience stores, there's a couple local convenience stores around here, and they have like a little bit of everything. They have some more tools than the actual hardware stores have. So I went to the convenience store, and I got this at a convenience store, this handle. And I was told that you want one that's not varnished or lacquered or anything like that. And a white color and hardwood, obviously, but this is what I got and this is what they had. They had a bigger one, but I didn't want anything too big. This is going to be perfect for me and for the size of this axe head, I think. So I fit the axe head on here, and I had to, I actually used my knife, almost like a draw knife, and I shaved it down a little bit, and you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to fit it a little bit, and get it on as tight as you can, and I'll do that right now, because I've already cleaned it up a bit with my knife to the size that it needs to be, sanded it down a little with some rough sandpaper. So I think it's ready to go together now. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say before I put it together. But there is, you can tell that one side is different than the other side. Usually the straight side is the top, and the curved side is usually the bottom, like that. And also, there's a pointy on the end of the handle. One end is pointy and one end is round, so it's pretty much only goes one way. Now, that's going to be snug on there. You'll notice that if you turn it around, it goes easier. There's like a bigger hole on this side, but don't try to put it on that way just because it fits easier. That's there for a reason, and I'll show you why in a minute. So, we're actually going to put it in the tight hole here, so the curve is facing down. I'm just going to drop it on the concrete floor a couple times. I did this earlier and I actually did it on an anvil, but anyway, here we go. Now you're going to want it to be a tight, snug, tight fit. And it'll be a little something like that. You can tell that this axe head has been hit a few times. I hit it a few times myself. It's got some character, but I think it's going to be a good quality steel, and it's going to hold an edge nice and sharp.